already, the founder and CEO of Beautycounter, Gregg Renfrew.
Sorry, did I come out too early?
No, you were fine. So Gregg, I'm guessing a lot of people here don't know Beautycounter. Give us a quick little story about just the elevator pitch, as it were.
The elevator pitch, hi. Well, thank you for having me, first of all. Beautycounter is a company based in Santa Monica, California, that I started, and we have a mission of getting safer products into the hands of everyone. We are focused on skincare, color cosmetic, and personal care products, and we've built this business really on a couple of really important pillars: education, formulation, getting great, high-performing and safer products into the market, and advocacy.
So you're a serial entrepreneur. You had a company that had as they say, a successful exit, I think, to Martha Stewart.
Depends on how you look at that.
Okay, well, that sounded successful to me, but anyway.
It was.
What led you to do this? You didn't need to do this. Why another beauty products company?
So I truly believe that the world doesn't need another beauty business. I started Beautycounter because I had watched An Inconvenient Truth. How many of you in this room watched the film An Inconvenient Truth? Probably many of you. I became really impassioned with the environmental health movement. I started to realize that we were being exposed to all these toxic chemicals. Started to make sweeping changes in my life. And the one area that I really couldn't find products that met my needs was in the area of skincare and cosmetic products. So I decided to start the company to bring products that were both high performing, like traditional brands, but also much safer for your health.
And you have this, I forget what the term for it is now, model. I knew it as multi-level marketing, but what do you call it?
So we're a direct-to-consumer brand that has been powered by people, and we have about 40,000 women and men across North America selling our products, but we're also available in our store in New York City and online. So a multi-channeled direct-to-consumer business. So
there's a number of cosmetic and beauty product companies that have some kind of health low toxic or non-toxic. We had on this very stage Jessica Alba, who I know you know.
I do.
And her partner, Christopher, to talk about the Honest Company. And they've got a story. So what's your story? How does it differ?
How does it differ from the Honest Company, or just in companies in general?
Not just the Honest Company, but from everyone else out there.
I think when I started Beautycounter, which was in late 2010, no one was talking about clean cosmetics or clean beauty at all. There was no such term. It was all about being green. And I think we were the first company that brought to market high-performance, commercially viable products in the areas of skincare and cosmetics that were also significantly safer and void of thousands of chemicals of concern. I think when you look at a company like the Honest Company or other companies, many of the companies in clean beauty are just focused on skincare. Honest Company was more baby products. For us, it was really trying to give to that woman all the things that she needed in her home. So not just skincare, but cosmetics, personal care, sunscreen for her family, baby and kids.
So it's the even more honest company, I guess.
I didn't say that.
I said that.
I don't need that going out on the record.
Okay, all right, I'm
Get
sorry.
me in trouble.
Yeah, okay. I blame me. I know you spent a lot of time on responsible sourcing. You had the great good fortune and good sense to hire Sasha Calder, one of our GreenBiz 30 under 30s, who's just a rock star in this space, who's been traveling around the world actually looking for a number of ingredients and how to continually improve both the products and the packaging. Where would you say you are in that journey?
I think it's a really complicated journey to be on, to be completely honest. So for just I think everyone in this room probably knows this, but just to remind everyone. So we in the United States haven't updated a major federal law regulating the cosmetics industry since 1938. And the law that does exist doesn't even look at supply chain, let alone the chemicals of concern that we're putting in our products every single day. I mean, there are about 10 to 12,000 ingredients commonly used in skincare and cosmetic and personal care products that are known to be definitively linked to health issues or could cause concern. And then when you get down to the supply chain, no one's looking at that at all. So for example, when our brand promise to the consumer is to take toxic chemicals out of our products and deliver performance that you expect. And when we look at our supply chain, that's really difficult to navigate. So where are we in the process? I mean, I think we've done infinitely more than 99.9% of the companies out there in terms of looking at supply chain and trying to source responsibility. Our greatest focus is on eradicating toxic chemicals, but it is complicated because of the lack of regulation over supply chain.
Give us an example of one of the chemicals that either you have or are working on eliminating, and what the problem was with it.
I mean, I'll give you an example of something that is, and it's not even specific to the chemical, but it could be a byproduct of a chemical. You know, years ago we have eye pencils, and they moved the manufacturing from Tennessee to Mexico, and during that process they changed one of the ingredients in the pencils that we were producing for consumers. And let's just say they called it, you know, whatever, you know, the Beautycounter cocktail, and the Beautycounter cocktail had these 5 ingredients in it. Well, they don't have to disclose that they've changed one of those 5 ingredients. So that one of those ingredients that we thought was in our pencil could have potentially, as a byproduct, led to 1,4-dioxane. So that's the type of thing that we're looking at, the ingredients as they're formulated, and then also what happens post-formulation. And so it turned out it was fine, but we did this extensive, you know, research, and we recalled the product, or we held them back until we could finish that. That's the kind of thing that happens to us all the time.
So how hard is that for a company of your size? You're not exactly L'Oreal. So,
not yet.
Yeah, no, but not yet. But you don't have necessarily the kind of market clout. So how hard is that, just period?
You know, I think when I started Beautycounter, you know, people thought I was crazy, and a lot of the contract manufacturers and suppliers said, you know, it can't be done, and we're not going to do it. And we somehow, because I think I'm a good salesperson, we were able to convince them to take a chance with us, that the future of beauty is clean beauty, and that they had an enormous business opportunity. And I think those that did, you know, sort of start with us saw our explosive growth over the last, you know, we launched 6 years ago, and the business has just been going straight up, and we are outperforming traditional brands by, you know, 5, 10x every single year. So I think that now they understand that there's an enormous business opportunity for them, and we now are holding them to even higher standards of conduct. But it's challenging because, you know, it's a lot easier and more profitable to do things the way that you've done them for the last 50 years, but we're not going to stand for that.
Are you finding the options that you're looking for, the kinds of alternative ingredients?
I really believe that there are quite a few companies out there that are you know, searching for the answers and getting them. I mean, I think, you know, at Beautycounter, we are focused on safety for human health, first and foremost. That's our primary platform. And so we use both natural and synthetic ingredients. What we want to know is it harmful to health, and is it harmful to the earth? There are naturally occurring ingredients that are obviously not safe, and there are man-made ingredients that are benign. And so I think we're able, through those, you know, the use of both of those types of ingredients, to deliver the performance expectations. And we are working, you know, we've funded some of our own research, and we are working with institutions to try to come up with, you know, new solutions.
So you clearly see this as not just a company, but a movement, I guess. And towards that end, how do you magnify your impact to impact other companies?
You know, one of the reasons that well, first of all, as I said earlier, I don't think the world needed another beauty brand. So when I started Beautycounter, I mean, I didn't know anything about, just to be clear, I mean, I didn't even know anything about makeup. I didn't even really wear makeup at the time. I'm getting older now. I'm wearing more and more every day. So thank God we have safer products. I know, your makeup looks amazing. But does it? You must be wearing Beautycounter, right? But I do think that, you know, for me, you know, it was really about, you know, starting a movement powered by people, and we didn't need another beauty brand. We wanted to start a movement. The first thing I said is I want to change the laws in the United States. They have not been updated for, you know, at the time, 75 years. We can't do this through traditional, you know, distribution of products. We need to tell the story person to person in small ways and large. And I think that's why we decided to work with independent consultants, because we've been able to get, you know, create over 60,000 jobs, which is exciting, but also allow people
60,000 jobs
for people in this country, through our independent consultants. But I mean, these are real jobs. People earning, you know, primary and secondary income. These jobs have. So it allows them to educate, it allows them to sell a product that they believe in, and to participate in the advocacy. We now know that through these 40,000 people, we can reach 5 million people through content and through, you know, educational materials. So we are reaching a lot of people. And first and foremost, we need to increase awareness on this issue, because most people still don't know that there are harmful ingredients in the products they use every day.
And you've been advocating on Capitol Hill, too.
We've been advocating on Capitol Hill. You know, we have done, you know, extensive amount of work. We've held over 100 meetings on Capitol Hill. We've sent over 100,000 and probably more now text and email messages. We've been working on both the state and federal level. We've participated in some of the bills that have been passed.
What are you specifically asking?
We're asking our federal government to update the laws that date back to, you know, to 1938, where we're asking for power to give the FDA the power to recall products right now in the United States if there is a chemical of concern, if there are adverse health consequences happening, when you're using, there's been a recent example of a company called When, Hair Care that has a shampoo line. They've had over 20,000 complaints, people having, permanent hair loss, whatever, and the FDA can't do anything about it. So we need them to have power. We need them to beef up the team on the FDA to look at and screen chemicals of concern, and we need them to update the laws. I mean, the EU banned or restricted, as you all probably know, over 1,400 ingredients, or almost 1,400 ingredients, well over a decade ago. We've banned 30 in the United States to date.
Yeah, go America. What's the response been when you go to congressional offices, not just to you and your company showing up there, I'd be curious about that, but also to the issues. Are they receptive?
Well, it's interesting, when we first started showing up, and no one really gave us the time of day. Now they've heard us loud and clear, so they know we mean business. And I think at the end of the day, there is bipartisan support for cosmetic reform. I think every single one of you in this room, every member of Congress, every person in the state and federal government knows directly or indirectly someone touched by the health issues we face as a nation today, whether that is someone struggling with cancer, infertility issues, giving birth to children with significant health issues like severe asthma or allergies. We're all watching this happen around us. They do understand that there are chemicals of concern in the products that we're selling in the United States today, and they do want to take action. I think where the challenges are is whether that, on sort of state preemption, who makes the final decision? Is it the federal government, or do states like California, where I'm fortunate enough to live, with Prop 65, have the final say? And that's where I think we keep running into it. But we're hopeful with this new sort of split Congress that we'll be able to move a bill forward in the next year.
So your company, you said 2010 you started?
I started working on it in 2010. We launched in March of 13.
Okay, so 6, 7 years into this. Where do you want to see this brand in 2030? That's the magic year we're all talking about this now. But where do you want to see the brand, and what do you hope the impact will be?
Well, when I started the company, I really, had set out to change the entire beauty industry. That was my personal goal. I wanted to change the world, and my way of changing the world would be to get safer products so that my children and all of your children don't have to worry about reading the labels on the products that they put on their bodies every day. So when I think to the future of Beautycounter, it's how far can we go? Can we make this a global movement for clean beauty, where we eradicate toxic chemical exposure in one of the things that we can control? We can't control the air we breathe, but you can control what you put on your body every day. And so we want to make sure that we get safer products into the hands of everyone, and that's not just Beautycounter products. I want to see the laws change so that every single citizen of every country has access to safer products. That is my personal goal, and we intend to see this through.
That's some big thinking. I like that. Heather, what do you have for Gregg?
Hi. So what specific things are you doing to include communities of diversity in your vision and in your mission?
So when we started the company, a couple of years ago, we looked at certainly the corporate team, and it wasn't particularly diverse. It certainly it was super white and super sort of middle-aged, because that's kind of me. And we really made a conscious effort to focus on bringing people into our organization who had a real variety of backgrounds to build our community at all levels, from the C-level and board level all the way through the organization, in all areas of the business, so that when you have, for example, if you're formulating a product for a woman of color, you need women of color in the product development process. I believe strongly that there is great value in a diverse set of voices around the table making decisions about the company. I mean, it is factually proven that companies who have an inclusive mindset and a diverse group of people are going to make better business decisions. And our goal over time is to have the face of our company, our community at large, to look like the face and the complexion of the United States today. And that is something that takes time, but we've made enormous progress on looking at every single aspect of it and trying to move the needle. We're not perfect, but we've come a hell of a long way.
Yeah, well, you've come a hell of a long way on a lot of things, and I'm wondering, as you look at all you're doing around toxicity, we didn't even really get into talking about the challenges with packaging and diversity and inclusion and just building a great company. What keeps you up at night?
All of the above. I mean, look, I think that I've always said since I started the company that failure is not an option, right? I mean, at the end of the day, we need to change the laws, we need to change the products, we need to create more businesses that are doing well and doing good simultaneously. And we are trying as a B corporation to lead by example and to show people that you can be a profitable business that can really impact the consumer marketplace without causing undue harm to the world and to your employees and everyone that's involved with your company. And I think I'm really committed to it. I lose sleep every single night when I hear, every day I get a phone call from someone that says, I joined your movement because I was just diagnosed with breast cancer. I just lost my child. My son is struggling with eczema. I realized that I've been putting these toxic chemicals on my body. I'm tired of those stories. I don't want to hear them anymore. And so I lose sleep over that. I mean, I worry about everything. The bigger we've gotten, the greater the reach, the more insecure I get about it because we have so much to lose if we don't get this right. And I feel like this is my responsibility to the world. And I think our team feel really, really responsible for what we're doing.
Well, I sleep better at night knowing that there are entrepreneurs and business leaders like you thinking in the big terms that you do and taking on the big challenges, not just within your own company, but well beyond those borders. So thank you for that. And please join me in thanking Gregg Renfrew.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much, Gregg.
I really appreciate it.
And to send us off